Good morning, guys. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Thursday. It's almost Friday. And this has been a very long week for me. Once you hop on, if you could give me a hi or a good morning, let me know that you're on here. I would love that. Wait just a couple seconds for the notifications to come through so you guys are popping on. Good morning, Alyssa. Good morning, Emily. Good morning, Brooke. I hope that you are still watching because you are totally on my dream team and I need you because I know that you could totally rock out Virginia. I mean, that's just, especially where you live, there's like no Sensi consultants there, so I know you could be super successful. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to get started. The first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was what front loading is and why that's important. Okay? So, front loading. What that means is that you are front loading or you are booking your calendar for the month ahead. So normally, and I probably should have done this video way earlier in the month, but that's okay. Normally what I do around the end of the second week, beginning of the third week of the current month, I start looking at my calendar for the month before. So if you don't have a planner, you really need a planner, especially for your Scentsy business. If you use your phone, fine. Whatever you do, you need to have some sort of calendar in place so that you know exactly what your availability is. So when I'm talking front loading, the very first thing I do for the following month, about halfway through the current month, is I go to my calendar and I make sure that all of my family and my personal days are on the calendar. And that's super important because you need to put yourself first and not your business first. Your family has to come first, and I 100% believe that. So I make sure that my calendar is all filled out in my phone or wherever I'm at so that I know exactly what days that I have to work with. And the reason why front loading is important is because you never want to start a month not knowing where your 500 PRV is going to be. And I say 500 PRV because I believe that everyone, whether you're doing this for a hobby, a business, whatever, I believe that everyone should have 500 PRV a month at a minimum. And the reason why I say that is because then you're actually getting your money back from your investment in the business if you just joined. Because if you earn a $500 paycheck, if you get 500 PRV, 25% of that is going to be $100. So if you are already certified. So you want to shoot for 500 PRV every month. And I'm always shooting for 2,000 just because that's just what I do. But if you are just starting out and you need to set a goal of 500, period. And front loading is important because you want to know where that 500 PRV is coming from. You don't want to be at the end of the month and you don't have your 500 PRV and you have a team and your team has hit their numbers and you're not going to get paid at title because you didn't put in your 500. You never want to be in that situation. That situation sucks because I've been there in my business before. Don't think I haven't been there, but you need to know where that 500 PRV is going to come from. The reason why I say about halfway through the current month you need to start looking ahead, because a lot of times if I've had a lot of customers already buy from me, so in January I had people buy from me, once they have bought from me, when I'm following up with them, I'm letting them know that February is 10% off. And I'm not just going to take their order. I'm going to try my best to get them to book a party. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But that way, if they have a party in their hand and they're already letting their friends and family know about that 10% off sale, you can get that party back within the first week of February and close it and be active or have your 500 PRV within the first week of the month. And then you don't have to stress over that. Obviously, you want to shoot higher, but if you already have your 500 PRV, you're not stressed. Another reason why front loading your calendar is important is because you're not going to be stressed out. you already know where your money's coming from. You have to plan ahead in order to plan your paychecks. And the more you front load and the more you're closing parties at the beginning of the month, the less stressed you're going to feel, the more fun this is going to be, and the more PRV you're going to have, because people get paid all throughout the month. And so closing on the first of the month is a way to ensure that, I've already said it, like, you have your PRV, so you don't want to stress over it. Okay? And the other reason why it's important to front load is because then you have more time throughout the month. If someone pops up and wants to do something really quickly with Scentsy or with personal business, with your personal life, you already have your month planned. So front loading, you need to start that about halfway through the current month so that you know that you're ready. So like right now, I have 2 basket parties already out, and they've been doing the 10% off sale. No, they're not advertising that on Facebook yet, but their customers and their friends know. And we also already have them a party link open so that if someone wants those Bring Back My Bar scents, and we know they're only available in January, those people can still go online and purchase that through there. So they're gaining rewards throughout that. Okay. So front loading means just loading your calendar up for the month before. And with the new catalog season coming up, that's a great way to do it. Okay. So front loading means getting those things on your calendar. And when I say front loading, I don't just mean parties. Something that is really important, and I know that I haven't stressed this enough because I don't do a whole lot of these, but I know that I need to do that more in 2019, is events and fundraisers. Events and fundraisers are great ways to also front load your calendar, because those things are going to grow your business even more. You're going to get your name out there and so on. If you're not sure how to do an event or how to do a fundraiser, search on this page. There's tons of things that I've done or other directors have done to talk to you about those things, about how to run them. That's a completely different conversation. But if we're talking front loading for events, some ways that you can find events is search on Facebook, vendor events near me. Join yard sale groups, join near wherever you are, join vendor events groups. You can literally use Facebook the same way that you use Google. So join those different groups. Join other direct selling groups in your area. I know that there's like a Fayetteville group that's like, I can't even remember what it's called. But join those groups and you can search for vendor events in your area. Same thing with Google. Same thing, radio stations a lot of times have events listed. And then even Facebook, you can go to just events and you can search events near you. And a lot of times they may have vendor spots open. If you don't have a lot of stock, that's another whole thing. The purpose of events is to get your name out there and stuff like that. So don't feel scared. Another way to book events is asking your friends. Your friends and your customers have a different circle than you. Even if it's your best friend, I guarantee you they'll know a few other people that are not in your same circle. Churches have events. People have sports teams that may have events. Churches have events. I think I just said that. All different kinds of places have events. So you need to get your name out there. I know that it's scary, but events are just great, especially if you are new to your area and you don't know a lot of people. You need to be doing events or asking people to do events, setting up a table somewhere. That way you can get your name out there. You can do a drawing box and so on. I don't even want to go into that. Okay, so events, getting your name out there, that is also front loading. Fundraisers, that is another way to front load. The spring is a great time for fundraisers because a lot of sports teams need new uniforms. Schools do fundraisers, all kinds of things. So asking your friends for fundraisers, asking your friends for for contacts, reach out to your local rec center, see if they have teams that are doing fundraisers and they can put you in touch with people. If you're not asking for events and fundraisers, they're not just going to pop up and slam you in the face. That's not going to happen. You're not just going to get an event by someone coming up to you. You're not just going to get a fundraiser by somebody coming up to you. You're going to have to search out those things. It's going to take a little bit of effort. But Google is your friend. Facebook is your friend. And another thing that you could do to get events and fundraisers, post on Facebook, email your customers, let your customers know that you're interested in doing those things. A lot of times people don't know if you do events or not, if you do fundraisers or not. You need to let people know, because if people don't know, they don't know that they can refer you. I have people tag me and stuff all the time about events. I know Nakia has done events at her gym. Even if it's something small, she's just setting up her Scentsy stuff so that people at her gym know that that's what she does, and so that they can support her. So it doesn't even have to be something super large. If you know other direct sellers, so 31 people or whatever, build relationships with them, and so that they can refer you to an event that they, or a fundraiser that they are doing. Okay, next is bookings for parties. So the number one thing I'm going to say about parties is, if you're not asking, the answer is always going to be no. The same thing with recruiting. A big thing about bookings is the way that you ask people. So a lot of times the word party scares people because they feel like they're going to fail, or they feel like it's a lot of work, or they feel like they're not going to have someone go. So think of a way to ask someone to book a party by not saying the word party, such as, let's have a girls' night with wine and crackers and Scentsy. Let's have a mimosa bar on Sunday morning. Or let's have just a get-together. Whatever you need to say that your people are interested in, to maybe not say the word party. Another way is gathering orders. You can literally just say, hey, you can gather some orders from your friends and family, collect $200 before tax, and I'll get you free and half off. So some people don't even realize that that's a party, because a lot of times when they picture the word party, they're thinking, oh, I've got to have a bunch of people at my house. I don't like my house, blah, blah, blah. So that's one way. Another way to get bookings is when you're asking someone, ask them if they want free and half off. And another thing about asking is you need to end your way of asking with a question. So if you say, hey, I would love for you to have a home party, let me know when you're available, that's not really open-ended. And the reason why is because not everybody wakes up and lives and breathes Scentsy like we do. And if they are waking up and living and breathing Scentsy, they need to join your team. They don't need to just be hosting parties and buying from you. So you need to end it with a question. So if you are trying to get them to book a home party, say, hey, I know we talked about having a home party. These are the dates that I have available, and give them 2 or 3 choices so that they have to answer you. Or they can say, okay, those days don't work for me, and you can come up with a better plan. But if you just say, let me know, that's leaving it up to them. And you are the business owner. You are the one in charge of getting those bookings. So don't just leave it up to them. Another way about bookings is make your schedule sound full. I don't care if you don't have a damn thing on your calendar. Your calendar can be completely empty. You make it sound like you don't have very many dates. And that's not lying or being deceitful, but that's a marketing strategy. People want things that other people want. So if you make it sound like you only have 3 days in February to do a party, they're going to be much more likely to try and hurry up and book that party before someone else takes your date. You can even say, hey, I'm waiting on another host to get back to me. Let me know which day you want so I can put you down first. And that's not, like I said, it's not being deceitful. You are using yourself and marketing yourself, and you're a business owner. So you pick those dates that work for you. It doesn't have to be on a Saturday night if Saturday night's your date night. Friday night's my date night with my husband. Unless it is just a host that I know is going to blow it out of the water, I'm not scheduling a party on Friday night for when I normally do date night, because that is the day that I spend with my husband. So think of ways that you can do that. Bookings also, I want you guys to start off with a home party. and then default to a basket party. I know a lot of times a lot of us just want to get a basket in someone's hands and say we booked some parties. And yeah, you may have booked that party, but when you're doing basket parties, you have no idea how your host is doing, and you're leaving it all up to them. And they're not the business owner. You are. And if you're not getting those scents in people's hands, if you're not showing the diffusers, if you're not able to do a presentation about how great the washer whiffs are and stuff, they're not going to fall in love with Scentsy the way that you have. Home parties are always, always, always going to be your number one way. If someone says that they don't have a house to do a home party at, so what? If they live in an apartment, see if you can use the clubhouse. If they don't have an apartment or something, go to Starbucks, go to Panera, and just say, hey, we can go to Panera and sit there for 2 hours and you can have people come and sniff. Like, it's okay. It's okay to do that. But try and do home parties first. That's the number one thing. And then default to basket parties and Facebook parties. I'm going to be honest, Facebook parties are hit and miss. Basket parties are hit and miss because it just depends on how awesome your host is. And hostess coaching is so important in those things. And I am not great at hostess coaching, so I'm going to ask another director to come on here and do a video on hostess coaching. So when someone does that, please, please, please watch it. Okay, well, I forgot what I was talking about. Home parties. Okay, if you are saying, and if you're watching this video and you're like, oh my gosh, she's saying all these things and I've done all these things and blah, blah, blah. I want you to ask yourself how many people you're actually asking to host a party, because it's the same thing with joining. About 1 out of every 10 are going to say yes. So if you're only asking 5 people and you got 5 no's, you're not asking enough people. You're just not asking enough people. So if you feel like you have hit a brick wall and you have no one to ask, redo your list of 100. If you're brand new, you should have done your list of 100. If not, you need to do it. And if you have been in Scentsy for a while, your list of 100 is going to change. I redo mine about every 3 months. And it's people that you may not think of. Google list of 100 or search on the workstation. I know there's some in the files tab. It even gives you different sections. You can think about those things. Ask your current customers for referrals. So the first thing you need to do is get some parties on your calendar, because parties are how you meet more people. Parties is where your high PRV is going to come. And once you have one party and you get someone to commit to that, you can book more parties off of that, and you can do booking games. And that's just a whole nother topic. I'm going to ask somebody to do a video on booking games as well. So bookings. Now, also, if you are thinking, okay, I've done all of those things and I still cannot get someone to host, stop making excuses and host your own damn party. Period. I'm sorry for cussing, but I feel real strongly about that, because I know that that's where I was at last year. I couldn't get anybody to host a party. You need to host your own party. If you just joined Scentsy and you haven't had a launch party, a home launch party, you need to do it. Stop making excuses, get it on your calendar, and launch your business. People need to know you're serious. Period. Have a home launch party. It's scary. It sucks sometimes, but you've got to do it. If you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. Period. Okay? If you've been with Scentsy for a long time and you maybe never had a home party to launch your business, have one now. If you have not had a home launch party, or it's just been a long time since you've had a home party, have a relaunch your business party. Duh. Relaunch your business. Okay?
Hey, stop.
Relaunch your business. I know that I want to have one of those because I know I haven't had one. I didn't have a last chance first glance party this fall or this past spring because I was depressed and I was having anxiety. But guess what? My business suffered from that, and I need to do something different. Okay, so some ideas for a home party for you to have for yourself. An open house. It doesn't have to be something that is super formal that you go and do a big old ordeal. You can literally have an open house and sell what stock you have. Can you advertise that you have stock out on Facebook? No. But you can create a Facebook event and let people know that you're going to have stock, and let people know that they can also purchase from you there. and it can just be free floating. I know Maggie Hensley and some other people have done them, and they're like, okay, this Saturday from 9 to 12, and they take a break in the middle of the day, and then from 4 to 6. And you just have like light snacks. You don't even have to have snacks if you don't want to. Buy a cheese tray, have some sodas, let people come and mingle. They can search your stock, they can sniff through, have an open house. Or you can have something more formal. You can also, if you are private messaging these people and creating an event, do drawings. Tell them if they come by, they don't even have to buy anything. Put their name in a drawing for a free scent of the month bar. Bring a guest, they get another drawing. You have to think of ways outside of the box of things that you haven't done to find new people. Ask your neighbors if you don't have a lot of friends. Ask your neighbors to bring people. Put a sign in your front yard saying, Cincy Open House. I don't care what you do, but you need to find ways to meet new people. Another thing, like I said, is have your own home party. This February is an amazing time to have a home party. I am going, and I'm going to say this now because I'm challenging myself, I am going to have a home party / open house in February because I need to, for me and for my business and for my customers. I'm going to sell stock. I'm going to do the 10% off sale, and I'm going to have the new catalog for people that purchase. So what I'm going to call that, and that's called a last chance first glance. So what you do at that last chance first glance party, and you know what? I'm going to challenge everybody on here to have a last chance first glance party. Whether you're having it at Panera Bread and you are just telling all your customers you're going to be there with all the scents that are discontinuing, or Starbucks, I'm going to challenge you guys to do that if you can't do one at your house. I'm challenging you right now to do a last chance first glance home party. Home party. Challenging you. Do it. I want to know when you put it on your calendar and what you're going to do. So, last chance first glance. What you do is I would have a big sign, something printed off from the workstation or a flyer group that has all the scents that are going away. I'm also going to have a flyer for Scentsy Club because they need to know if they really, really love pumpkin scents year round that they can add that to Scentsy Club and get it all the time. The Just Breathe laundry care. I'm definitely going to talk a lot about that because it's one of my best sellers and talk about how that's going away. So what I'm going to do at that last chance first glance is I'm going to sell my stock that I have to replenish, because I'm going to take all of that money that I make from that stock sale and I'm going to put it right back into my business. I'm not keeping it just to go party with. I'm going to take that and put it right back into my business. And all of the people that come, I'm going to let them leave with either a catalog or a product sheet from the new catalog. And what I'm going to do is I am going to have them, and I'm actually going to give them a product sheet. I'm kind of planning this while I'm talking to y'all. I'm going to give them a product list of the new catalog, and I'm going to have them circle all the new warmers that they want. All the new warmers that they want, all of them. I tell them there's no limit. And I'm going to book parties off of that. Why? Because home parties, you need to be booking more home parties. And when someone wants a $50 warmer and a nightlight that's coming out because our new catalog's freaking amazing, I'm not just going to take their order. I want them to have a party. I want them to see how easy it is. And that's another thing. You need to make it seem fun. You need to make it seem easy. You need to know your crowd. A lot of my crowd isn't a big game crowd. They like to just come and mingle and hang out. But if you have a group that's really into games, you need to do some games. That's another training. Last chance first glance. I'm going to be focusing on the 10% off sale, getting all those people to get all the things that are discontinuing, the warmers that are discontinuing, and so on. But I'm also going to be really focusing on bookings. If someone says no to hosting a party, fine, take their order. But do not let them circle all those things on that product list or see that $50 warmer and just give you $50. If they're already ready to spend $50, number one, you need to be upselling them to get a 6-pack of bars because the new scents are going to be amazing. Even though I haven't smelled them, I know they are. But if they're already spending $50, I bet they have some friends that might want another $50 warmer or whatever. So think about that. If you have not had your own home party, you need to have your own home party. You cannot ask your team and you cannot ask your customers to do something that you are not willing to do yourself. And I'm not going to ask you guys to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So when I get into school and I look at my planner, I know February's already crazy with Marley's birthday and world tour, and I have another birthday party, like a bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to go set my last chance, first glance party because I know that I need that for my business and I need bookings for the spring. Okay? If someone buys in February and they're not ready to buy again in March, get them to book a party in April. If their schedule with Scentsy only allows them and their budget only allows them to order once every 2 months, book in April. You do not have to put yourself in a box where you are only booking for the following month. Okay? So I hope this was really helpful. If you have not done a home party, you need to do a home party. And that's a whole nother training. If you don't know how to do a home party, get on YouTube and search Scentsy home parties. There's a million videos out there. Everything you need to know for this business is on the internet. It's not just from me. It's not just from Chloe. It's not just from any of the other directors. Google on YouTube. You can find so much information if you're not good at it. If you're not good at basket parties, Google on this page. I've done 1 million on basket parties, and so have other people. So think about those things. Front loading your calendar. And today I want you to front load your calendar. I want you to book a home party, a last chance, first glance. Stop. Even if one of your customers wants to do it, it can be a customer last chance, first glance. Use that. That's great. Getting that customer information and those people's information from parties is super important. So I want you to do that. And then in the comments, I am challenging you guys to post some scripts or some wordings that you could use to book some parties for February and March. I'm going to post some, but actually, you know what? I'm not going to post any until I see someone else post a script that could help someone else out on our team to help you book a party or an event or a fundraiser. Remember to end it with a question so that they have to answer. Also, last thing before I finish up, please ask, do not get hung up on someone that says no to you or someone that ignores you. It happens. Who cares? Who cares if they say no? Who cares if they ignore you? I bet you've ignored someone before, and I bet you didn't even think about it anymore. It's okay for someone to say no. It's okay for someone to ignore you. If they say no, follow that up with thank you. Well, if you know anybody that you think would be interested in doing that, I would really love for you to give them my name, and I'll reward you with some free Scentsy if they book. That easy. Turn that no into something positive. And when I say free Scentsy, it can be a dang scent circle that costs you $1 when you got it half off, or $1.50 when you got it half off, or whatever. Okay? So your challenge for today, book a last chance, first glance, front load that calendar, and before I give you some ideas, I want you guys to post in the comments some scripts that you could use to ask some people to host in February and in March. Love y'all. Mean it.